There's some tulips. Yes, there we go. Can you hear me? Yes, you can. Excellent. Okay. I'll turn it too loud here. You can hear me squeal in a minute. You hear Dusty over there screaming away in the background. As you can see, this is back on May the 3rd. Was your snow all gone on May the 3rd? Let's hear some music. Yes, hear some music. Putting the conditioner on here, getting ready to stain. Pre-staining conditioner. 57 of these little bastards to do. I'm gonna turn you off now.
The food. Dixon pork chops. "500 feet. Rolling across there. I got the valves on it so that I can control the rate. It dumps into the pool over here. See? For instance, just a couple of minutes ago now, before I came here to do this, the water that it's taking out of the pool is 72 degrees. And it's putting it back into the pool at 84 degrees after it goes through this contraption of pipes that's here. So it's heating the water up 12 degrees, 12, 13 degrees. There's my bleeding heart out in bloom. And here's the white one. The white one is just starting to come out. Well, the old robin figures she'll fix me this year. You see her tail up there. Way the hell up in the tree. You can see the nest, and that's her tail to the left of it there in a fork. She figures I'm not going to see her babies popping out around this year. Oh well, I tried. That's parrot tulips, these are called here. You can see why by looking at them. And these ones in the back here are my favorite one, the deep purple ones. There's another variety of those deep purple ones right here. They flare right out more. I'm going to dig all them up now as soon as they go. And I'm going to put them all in the berm. I'll show you where in a minute. I'm going to scatter them throughout this. You see, there's no weeds or anything here that I got to worry about because of the thick cover of the green that's on here. Just I say no weeds, but I don't know what that is. It's a perennial. It comes up and it flowers every year up through them, then it dies off. There's a couple right up in the back there. Now, I never planted these. They came in with the dirt when the dirt came in, so. When I bought like truckloads came in here, they must have been dug up. And there's one on the other side here somewhere too, I think. I'm just going to take the old bub hole digger and pop her down through that green mesh there and let them come up through it. You know what I mean. Sure what this is. It's either apple, peach, plum, or pear. I think apple. I have to go look at my chart and see my diagram I made out when I put the stuff in. This is another cherry here. Its blooms are done now, starting to fade out. And again, I'm not sure what this one is. I think it could be apple. That there is a wisteria bulb bloom. And it's got 1 million of them on there. And if you recall, when you're up, we went to the nursery. The lady asked me if my wisteria ever bloomed. And I said, yeah, one year I had 2. She goes, oh, that's pretty good. It's very rare to see blooms on a wisteria, apparently. It's supposed to bloom, but I guess it's a rarity to get them to do it. But you can count hundreds on there now, I tell you.
This is taken out through the kitchen window. The guy over at Cyanamid washing off his truck. And well, that's what you need to go up to the old wood roads in fishing. Put Mr. Apple up on the top. You can spot, and then you can sit in the cab and drive. Air conditioned and AM, FM radio and tape player and the whole bit. Everything you want is inside that little thing. Out to classes out in Leamington. Don't have that bright yellow there now. He's got it all repainted and some wallpaper put up on it.
Remember I was telling you about these when they were in the buds, and that we would be back for another picture. Here they are. He's really growing in there. All the nice blooms, all out as blue can be. Here's our waterfalls. Of course, there's no water coming over the falls right now. It's all sitting down in the bottom of the pond here. You see right here on a post somewhere, if I can find it. Yeah, right there's a sensor. Now we're going to start walking close, rather than have it running 24 hours a day. The only time it'll run now is when someone comes up and goes around it. Oh, now watch the dogs here now. I got the beam turned up so it don't pick them up then. Hey, that was a good move. I didn't realize I did that. The beam is too high for them. Just watch when we approach it. There we go, it just clicked in now. And the water is starting to flow. As long as someone stays in this area now moving around, the water will stay on. Or else it'll run for maybe it's about 5 minutes after you leave the area, and it'll shut off on its own again. There's my cherry tree. Now these aren't the sweet cherries. These are cooking cherries on my dwarf tree, so that's as big as it'll grow. Maximum is 6 feet. That way there's no problem in picking anything. And my sweet cherry, which is coming up to the right here now. This son of a gun is full of blooms, covered in it. It doesn't have a seed on it that's going to look like it's going to turn into a cherry. So we'll see. We'll see. It's got a new barbecue, the other one all rotted out. Just shoved that one in place this morning. Got her down here at the Homo hardware store. Well, anybody for an interior door? There's 22. There's 4 more French doors that's not on that pile. It's just a frame and then the glass goes in the center. They're all 6 panel. The bottom ones are 24s. They're for closets, 2 side by side. And the tops are 30, and the very top one is a 34. And the second one up from the bottom is a 20 inches for a broom closet or something, or a linen closet. They all been through the sander now both sides with the 40 grit paper in. So they're all flat now as far as all the joints and everything goes in them. And now I'm going to change the paper over to a 100, put them through again, then to a 150 and put them through again. And then they're all done and ready to have the hand sander go around and touch up the edges, round them over, and you know, all that good stuff.
We're making 1/2 inch dowels here. I don't know what the hell that was. As you see, it's making 2 at a time. The strip is 5/8 by 1 3/8, and it goes through. And there's what you call a whole shitload. You can see is this Doug working on his car. That's his scooter. He's recharging the air tank now. The air hole's not long enough to reach up the end of the driveway, so he's just using that air tank, bringing it back and forth.
Well, figure I don't get a chance to bring the camera out in the shop. Am I okay? If I don't get a chance to bring the camera out in the shop, I'll had to do it here in the morning when I'm eating my breakfast. Or waiting for my breakfast. Yes, okay. Anyhow, I got to tell you a joke. This big old burly went in to a grocery store and went right up to the produce department and said to the guy behind the showcase, he said, I want to buy a 1/2 head of lettuce. Cabbage. I want to buy a 1/2 head of cabbage. And the clerk says, I'm sorry sir, we don't sell cabbage by the 1/2 head. You got to buy a full head. Of course, they're being dumb as what they are. Says, no, you don't understand. I only want a 1/2 head. He goes, look, we don't sell cabbage by the 1/2 head. You got to buy a full head. No, but I'm telling you, I don't need a full head, or I would buy a full head. I only want to buy a 1/2 head of cabbage. The guy says, look, I can't. Well, anyway, this went on and on and on. Finally, the guy said to him, well, listen, I'll go in the back room and I'll talk to my manager and see what he says. So the clerk walks in the back room, unknown to him. Now, the next follows him in. See, he goes, through the swinging door. The old neighbor follows him in. The guy's goes in, and his manager's on the other side of the room, you know, back by one of the freezers or something, and he got his back to the door, see? He didn't see the nigger at the time. So he's talking to his manager, and he says, listen, he says, this big son of a bitch out there, he wants to buy a goddamn half a head of cabbage. And his manager's going, you know, trying to tell him that the guy's behind him, see? So the guy just says, he says, this big son of a bitch out there that wants to buy a half a head of cabbage. And the guy's going like this. And the guy turns around and see the nigger come in, see? And he looked back at his manager and says, and this gentleman right here will take the other half. Oh, yeah, this gentleman has the guy. You get it? Oh, that's good. Here's my cherry tree. She's out in cherries. Already. I don't know if it's already or not, but it's out. That's the main thing. Just got a scatter red one here or there. I gotta get a big net now and throw over it, so the birds don't get them before I do. Remember me telling you this was going to happen, from all the buds and everything that we had on there. Oh, there they are. And they ain't nearly out yet. There's many more to come is what's there. The old sawdust pile was growing by the day still. It'll all be gone pretty soon, be all taken away in a truck. I think these are pears. Remember, I've been saying all along that this is something, I don't know what it is. I had to look at my plans in the house for when I planned it to see where I put it where, but it's close enough now to look like a pear, isn't it, to be a pear. And I'm thinking these are apples. Well, that other one back there wasn't a pear. This is. Them first ones I show you might have been a peach then.